skilled, seasoned, and sophisticated, the Air Force Special Operations Forces are ready to perform anytime, any place. The men of the United States Air Force Special Operations commit their hearts and minds to their work. But their souls soar through the air.
I always wanted to fly. Figured the Air Force was the best place to do it, and been flying some type of C-130 for the last 19 years.
I was never one for a behind the desk 9-to-5 coat and tie type of job anyway.
Most of us here, not only pararescuemen but combat controllers, are all adrenaline junkies. We thrive on this kind of training and this kind of environment.
I think it's challenging. I think we're all thrill seekers. I think everybody wants a piece of the pie. When something goes down, everybody wants to take part.
I just really enjoy the flying. It's really exciting.
The Air Force Special Operations Forces motto is Air Commandos, Quiet Professionals. The sheer scope of their mission speaks volumes.
38,000 on the gas.
Some of the diverse duties of these men include non-conventional warfare, direct assault action, counter-terrorist operations, and personnel rescue.
The responsibilities that our Air Force Special Operators have encompasses a worldwide commitment. Consequently, they have to train for all types of environments. They have to be able to operate in desert and jungle and cold weather climates, all kinds of extremes. So that's part of the challenge and part of what we do well as a joint team.
Air Force Special Operations Command, or AFSOC, is organized into 4 basic operational units, separated primarily by their specific tasks. 2 of the units rely on distinctly different versions of the C-130. One uses the Spectre gunship, a heavily armed aircraft designed to provide concentrated firepower in support of ground forces. The other uses the Combat Talon, an aircraft which delivers personnel and supplies while avoiding detection by enemy radar. A third unit deploys by helicopter, utilizing the Payload 3, the most sophisticated helicopter in the world, to provide infiltration, exfiltration, resupply, or fire support for ground and naval special forces operations. The fourth unit is the Special Tactics Group, which includes the forward air combat controllers and the pararescue medics. These men provide communications, air traffic control, and attend to injured soldiers during urban operations.
The reason this all came about is that we felt that we needed specialized airmen with specialized equipment that knew how to work well with special operators, as people from the other services that go in and support them in their mission, that were part of that team, that were worked together on a daily basis, trained and fought together, and that was the essence of setting up the Air Force Special Operations Command. The Air Force Special Operation has a long and fascinating history. It was created at the direction of General Hap Arnold in about the 1942-43 time period. Put together an organization composed of those highly dedicated professionals that flew a variety of aircraft.
The first team of air commandos forged a new path for Air Force Special Operations, providing a proud legacy of service that includes participation in the Korean War, Vietnam, the invasion of Panama, and with particular distinction in Operation Desert Storm. As Vietnam escalated into full-scale war, the air commandos developed a reputation for solving difficult problems.
During the Vietnam conflict, the Air Force Special Operations had a fairly important and extensive role. In fact, they were called air commandos back in those days, and it started early on in the conflict. There were quite a few infiltration and exfiltration missions conducted. The air commandos were the people who did that job using the C-123s and so forth to help that.
I wanted to get down into special operations because of the fact that they're always the first ones there, and they're basically the leading edge of our assault force, and the top guys in the special operations are the combat Talon aircraft and our users, the people that we support on our missions.
Because the Air Force Special Operations are on the leading edge of every operation, the men are constantly exposed to a high level of danger.
The ensuing response that the enemy always gives when you start shooting at him, they start shooting back. We were operating, near the Kuwaiti-Saudi border, and for a space of about 4 minutes, we were doing nothing but steep turns and banks in order to avoid the rounds that were coming up towards the airplane.
Air Force Special Operations Forces were designed to perform individually or in concert with other services. Every unit has a well-defined role in the total Special Operations group.
It takes all units forming as one team to get the mission done, and every unit is a vital asset to the Special Operations community.
The 4 Special Operations Squadrons are generally grouped according to the type of aircraft they employ on their missions. The 16th Special Operations Squadron, or SOS, flies the AC-130 Spectre gunships, the most concentrated source of firepower ever developed for air combat.
The thing about the gunship is you can actually get into the fray of things and be a participant in the direct combat. C-130 gunship's fabulous 4-engine fighter. There's really no other airplane in the N-Corps like it.
The Spectre boasts an array of weapons which, in combination with its highly accurate computer targeting systems, can deliver massive forays of firepower with surgical precision. The Spectre is armed with twin 20mm Vulcan cannons, an awesome combination capable of firing up to 2,500 rounds per minute over an enemy target. The Spectre's biggest gun is the 105mm howitzer cannon. Each shell packs 50 pounds of high-powered explosive. 2 teams working in concert can load and fire up to 10 rounds per minute.
As a gunner, the most difficult thing on the airplane is you got 14 people on board. There's 5 gunners. They're all talking at once. You got to communicate to each other and make them understand what's going on in your position of the aircraft. Shooting a 105, it moves the plane pretty good sideways. It's a really good time doing the local live fires. It's good training, but it's a good time also.
In the belly of the Spectre is the nerve center of the operation, the sensor suite. These sensors enable it to locate and lock onto targets, day or night, even in bad weather. The Spectre had a starring role in Operation Just Cause in Panama, destroying the Panamanian Defense Force headquarters and numerous command and control facilities. As the only close air support platform in the operation, the Spectre was credited with saving many friendly lives. The 8th SOS utilizes the MC-130 Combat Talon aircraft. The Talon boasts an unparalleled ability to conduct low-altitude operations in total darkness. The Talons perform their clandestine missions, carrying the ground forces units into hostile areas while avoiding detection by enemy radar.
The big thing with the Talon is that we fly very close to the ground, and it's real important that the pilots and the navigators work together along with the flight engineer. The proximity to the ground makes it that much more important for people have to be in sync. The pilots are looking at their instruments and they're flying their bars, basically flying up and down on their ADIs. What we do is we look at the radar systems, we clear the terrain, and make sure that the pilots don't basically fly into the ground. As long as we're traveling straight, the airplane will pretty much fly us over the terrain, but when we turn, the aircraft can't look around the corner.
My job as a loadmaster on the MC-130 Combat Talon is basically I'm the customer service representative on the aircraft. I'm face-to-face with the users. They come to me. I'm the guy that they come to for any things that their wants, their needs, their wishes.
In addition to its ability to make high-speed deliveries, the Combat Talon aircraft has a unique surface-to-air recovery system used as a method of airlifting personnel or equipment from either land or water.
It was originally used in the Air Force to rescue downed pilots, but since then it's gone over to Special Operations and is used with dedicated unconventional warfare troops to extract people or packages out of the field behind enemy lines.
Very few of these highly specialized aircraft exist in the world. The Combat Talon most recently performed an Operation Desert Storm, deploying one of the largest conventional bombs ever used.
We dropped the Blue 82. It's a 15,000-pound bomb. Back in Vietnam, they call it the Daisy Cutter. Back then, they used it for clearing out helipads in Southeast Asia. We dropped them close to where the encampment of troops were, dropped leaflets the following day saying, hey, we've dropped the largest bomb in the world, and we're going to come back again and do it tomorrow night. Very effective on demoralizing the Iraqi troops.
The 20th SOS employed the Pavlo III helicopter, the most technologically sophisticated helicopter in the world. Armor-plated and equipped with a combination of 3 powerful machine guns, the Pavlo is able to navigate precisely from liftoff to the target, across all types of terrain, while avoiding detection. The unique capabilities of these men and their helicopters permit operations from small sites in otherwise inaccessible areas. By their very nature, special operations missions normally are relatively small and almost always time-sensitive. They require close coordination of the forces involved. Perhaps the most successful example of a unit which has achieved this objective is the Air Force Special Tactics Forces.
Special Tactics is a combination of 2 Air Force career fields, one being the combat control side, the second side being pararescue.
Special Tactics units were formed to meet 2 critical needs: to secure landing strips and the need for on-scene casualty treatment.
The combat controllers provide air traffic control in the objective area by going in and performing runway clearing operations and setting up navigational aids that the airplanes can use to find the landing zone itself, while the pararescuemen are setting up casualty collection points and triage points for the wounded soldiers that are having to be evacuated or treated on the scene. We would go in with the assault forces themselves, and while they're doing their primary mission of direct action mission of seeking out and destroying the enemy, we would be bringing in the follow-on airlift as well as the medevac helicopters.
The Air Force Forward Combat Controllers perform a number of vital tasks. Well-trained as air traffic controllers, they must arrive at an operations arena in advance of the main assault team and instantly set up to help guide Special Forces aircraft to their targets. Many missions are flown under cover of darkness. Once in place, the men establish communications, assess parajumper drop zones, clear and secure airstrips, then guide each aircraft in and out of the airfield. Nowhere else in the Air Force will you find better trained or more motivated individuals. The Combat Control Force's motto is simply, first there. Nothing will deter them from achieving this objective. Part of their success lies in the multi-talents of the team. Each man has a primary skill, but is also trained to be versatile in all other tasks, crucial to completion of a mission.
That was the second man out. You want to stay as close as possible as you can to the first man, so you get down and get out as quick as possible off the helo. If you spend too much time, the enemy's going to be able to see you, and you're a dead man.
The combat controller's typical mission, as demonstrated in this training exercise, involves infiltrating behind enemy lines, surveying, and securing an airfield or landing strip in advance of the main assault.
The particular mission I'm getting ready to go do is called a runway clearing team, and what we're going to do is we're going to put a small team out there. We're going to clear the runway of any obstacles. We're going to go ahead and we're going to set up the lighting system for the aircraft, and then we'll go ahead and we'll start bringing aircraft in.
The other unit of the Special Tactics Group is Pararescue. These men are trained to provide medical services as required. Their motto, that others may live, sums up their commitment to this mission.
The role of a pararescueman is to deploy behind enemy lines and recover a downed pilot, assist him if he needs assistance in anything to do with medical, and to help him get back to friendly lines.
Pararescue training is about the most rigorous of any of the Special Forces disciplines, requiring a broad range of military expertise in addition to their medical training.
It's all pretty hard. I mean, it's a lot harder than what the average person needs to go through in the Air Force. I'm a pararescueman, which means I go through a medical course, a mountain climbing course, and area operations course, and it all together takes about 1.5 years to complete and graduate.
I wanted to become a member of pararescue so that I could help people that really needed help.
Combat controller and pararescue units are a unique breed of airmen.
We look for that little spark in them, and we look for a lot of leadership capability, a guy that's going to take things up on his own and be able to function and think clearly on his feet no matter what the conditions are around him. Those are the type of people we're looking for, ones that can think in the heat of battle.
Really the hallmark of Air Force Special Operations, or any special operations in our country, is jointness. It's important, though, very important, that everybody is on the same sheet of music when it comes to the plan, and that the commanders and the people that are operating know each other and know what to expect out of other parts of the team.
The Air Force Special Operations Forces distinguish themselves in action, both in Operation Just Cause and in Operation Desert Storm.
One thing that we had to do was block the Battalion 2000 of the Panamanian Forces from coming into Trujillo-Tucumán Airport. And we chose to do that at the Pacora River Bridge. And a Special Forces team of 14 soldiers, along with a single AC-130 gunship, stopped that whole battalion from coming across that river and kept them out of that fight the whole night.
The invasion of Panama, I was on the second aircraft to land at Rio Hato Airfield with the invasion force of Army Rangers. When we opened up the aircraft at Rio Hato, it was probably the most intense firefight I've ever seen going on at Rio Hato at that time.
Possibly the most comprehensive demonstration of the effectiveness of the Air Force Special Operations was Desert Shield and Desert Storm.
We had anticipated 300 pilots to be shot down the first night of the war. Thank God it never happened. From that point on, as the days went on in the war, we realized that only very isolated instances of rescue would be needed.
One method used to provide flexibility for special operations missions is mid-air refueling. Although machinery and technology has advanced to unprecedented levels of sophistication, it is the men at the controls who make the difference. The Air Force believes that the key to success in special operations is the human element, a fact that is not lost on those who serve.
The typical member of special operations in general is a professional that's intensely dedicated to doing a special operations mission. In the Air Force special operations business in particular, we're looking for somebody who has on the top of their list of priorities making the special operations team successful, specifically being able to support those Rangers and Special Forces personnel and SEALs at their mission, because that's what their job is about. They need to have technical expertise, of course, to fly the high technology equipment we have, and they need to be able to assume responsibility, take on a role of leadership, and they have to work well with those other members of the team.